welcome to the Twilight Ballroom's Movie Diary. Today we're going to be doing another great tip on post-production. This one is about keying. Now we all know keying is basically removing green screens. Hollywood uses it every day now. And what you'd normally do for a clip like this is you select it. This here is Mrs. Keppelwick, looking very stern. And I'd select this clip, then select key light 1.2. I'd go into here. I'd use the eyedropper here on to select the screen colour, which is green. And that takes out most of that green. And then to clean up, I'd select screen matte. And you can see here that we can tidy up the matte a little bit. We raise the clip black, watch the background despeckle. That's got rid of all the white there. And we've got, you can see the checks on the shirts here, so we'll clip the white too. We'll bring that back down to there. And we've got a nice crisp matte here, which is the outline of Keppelwick. Also, I'd like to screen shrink, set that to -2. Because with all the best will in the world, when you're shooting something, there will always be a reflection of the green screen on this very side of the clothes, and that gives that sort of green edge you can sometimes see when you're keying out things. So if we just shrink that just slightly by a couple of pixels, that tends to get rid of that. Also, light wrap. That's a very good technique as well, but more on that later on perhaps. So here we've got our screen matte. We'll go back to final result. Our keyed out character. Wonderful, you may say. And that does for most of the characters on the Twilight Ballrooms. But the trouble is, with Mrs. Keppelwick, is her shirt here. If I scroll it through very slowly, you might be able to make out there's an awful lot of noise on the shirt. It's speckling, and you could maybe use some plugins like Despeckler. But a problem here is the fact that her shirt actually contains bits of green. And how do you do that? Well, you could do, as I say, use Despeckler plugins, or you could maybe rotoscope the whole thing, which would really be a pain in the butt. But there is a much simpler way. It's to do with what we were doing just a second ago. Let's duplicate this layer. So we've got two versions of this now. The one underneath is the original that we're going to use, and we can actually get rid of key light with the original. And then the one above it, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to screen matte, and we're going to use the matte in order to key out the rest of the green. Why not? Because we've got it here. Any fans of Photoshop would probably know exactly what a matte is, and here's the black and white image that we've created now that moves with a character. That is the cutout that we can use. So we've got two identical layers here, and we select the bottom one here in the track matte to Luma matte. That then uses the black and white layer above it. You can see it's turned off there now from sight, but it uses the layer above it to cut out the shape. And in doing that, we've also retrieved a lot of the greens in the shirt here and in the headscarf, which are very precious, especially when it comes to doing colour adjustments later on or grading, and also it gets rid of that horrible speckly fuzzy noise that we were having in the shirt. So there you go, there's a very good top tip that keying is more than just removing the green. Sometimes you can use a screen matte to key out the characters. I hope you've enjoyed that quick tip. Hope you haven't fallen asleep listening to my voice whirring on. And until then, take care, and I'll see you later for another top tip from the Twilight Ballroom's Movie Diary.